In this video, we've got a mashup, a mix-up. It's something different. I'm not sure if it belongs here, so stick around and check it out.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
All right, guys. So this segment, this
a little different.
Very different. There's something that I've been kind of wanting to do, and even possibly doing a separate channel. So we're gonna be looking at your guys' feedback for this, and we'll explain more of that as we go along. But today's segment, we're gonna do like a beer review smash snake talk. So we're gonna for all those people that really like beer, we're gonna give some definitions. We're going to talk about a particular beer that we've chosen, and there's a reason why we've chosen this particular beer. So we'll give a little history about it. We've got a couple snakes behind us that we're going to pull out, and we're going to talk about the Magma project. So it's a big thing right now with Justin's stuff. So we want to kind of get into that. We have a couple animals. We're going to show them off for you guys to see. And then just kind of see where this goes.
It mashes up well.
Or maybe it's a total bomb. So,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, and hopefully everything, hopefully it works out. It'll be something that we enjoy doing. We're together almost every day of the week, but usually like once or twice a week we'll get together and we'll pick up.
A little weird, just saying. Anyway, so what?
Not that.
Yeah. Today we're gonna talk about Dead Guy Ale. This is a particular beer. This was one of my first jumps into the craft beer segment, if you will. It is produced by Rogue Brewery. These guys have been around for a while, for a long time. This is a new label though. The image is the same, but the label is new. Today we're going to crack this open. We're going to talk about this beer. Brewing for the better part of 18 years. And maybe some episodes we'll get into some of that. Matt,
yeah, I've done it for probably about 2 or 3 years. It's something fairly recent for me.
Matt came along into the family and joined in a via marriage, and then no, he doesn't live with me. That's,
No.
But then
Yeah, Jim actually introduced me to craft beer. Before that, I was drinking like MGD, Budweiser.
And for you guys, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has to start somewhere.
And then once he got me into the craft beer, it was no looking back.
We're gonna crack this open. I'll look up Rogue Brewery and just see where.
I think it actually says on the can, I believe.
Rogue Dead Guy Ale. It's been around since like 1990. It's been around for a long time. Bitterness is measured by IBUs, but a lot of the craft stuff will actually list on the can the IBUs and they'll list the ABV.
Just looked it up. They're based out of Newport, Oregon. Yep, and they were founded in 1988.
Way back in the day, I also was a MGD, and it was the label that led me to buy it.
Yeah, it's a
Red
cool...
Wolf. Red Wolf, I think, was one of the beers I used to drink. I don't know if you still get that, but I don't know. I thought it was really cool drinking Red Wolf. So I tried this, and I was like, "Holy cow!" Like the flavor, the palate it's insane. So again, just back to IBUs. It stands for International Bittering Units. The lower the IBU, the less hoppy it is. The more IBUs, the more of the hop profile that's going to be in the beer. If you compare this to a Budweiser, I don't know if you can see that, but if you compare that to a Budweiser, it's really different. It's a little hazy, very amber, and you can smell. Like when I smell it, you can smell a little bit of hop. It's not crazy hoppy, but
yeah, what were we saying?
But I can smell like malt. I can smell like caramels, almost like a sweet bread. And trust me, it sounds fancy, but it really is just.
Yeah, because the IBUs, does that go up to 100?
Yeah, roughly about 100. Cheers. Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah,
So when it comes to the beer, you actually have two parts of the beer. You got the head, and you got the body.
and Guinness is the biggest example of that.
That nitrogen.
You go to a pub, or you go to a restaurant and you order a Guinness. If it's on tap, it's, to my knowledge, always
nitrogen.
nitrogen.
Yep.
And if you've ever drank a Guinness, you get this really thick, tan, dense head, and all the crazy bubbles dance up the side of the glass. And it looks cool.
Yeah, and then the body is more. It kind of has that flat feel to it.
Yeah. It doesn't have the traditional CO2,
Right.
Which is like dances on your tongue and your mouth, and and those two differences can really change the way something tastes, and definitely change the mouthfeel of a beer.
Right.
ABV is another, and again, I'm just trying to get some definitions out. So if we come back to this and you guys like this kind of thing, and we do this again, there'll be more of a back and forth with snakes and the beer. So ABV is the alcohol by volume. Everybody is fairly aware of ABV. ABV is typically in a percentage. You'll go anywhere from 4-ish. It could be less than that. All the way up to, like, beer wise. Now for sale, the highest I've seen is like 15%. The only thing left is color. There's
So there's a. I'm bringing it up here. My phone turned off. All right, so there's a scale. It's known as the standard reference method, or your SRM, and essentially you have a color range that goes from 2.
Maybe you can hold that up
to
and
40.
you can see that there.
Yeah, let's see if we can get
Something relatively close so you can see what we're talking about.
So you got from 2 to 40. So 2 being your lightest, 40 being your darkest. So 2 would be known as your pale or straw. So like your Budweisers or your Bud Light or MGDs.
Yeah, and now this particular one is what they say. This is a Maibach, right?
Yeah, they said it's supposed to be between a 4 and a 10. So it's supposed to be anywhere between a pale gold and a pale amber. So looking at the scale,
it's like a 12.
It's like a 12, so it ends up being like a medium amber. So with it being, I guess you can say, Americanized.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah, they probably added in some other types of malts and grains and stuff that probably darkened it up a little bit. So 40 will be your black, so like Guinness would be your...
And there are, as dark as everybody thinks Guinness is, there are some beers that are even darker than that. This particular beer is a 6.8 ABV. So, it's not crazy. When you're talking like IPAs and stuff, like a big IPA, you're, 7.5%, 8%. And if you get that at a restaurant, a lot of times around the 8% mark, they start gating back how much they're going to give you. So you'll go from like a full pint to like 10 ounces or even 8 ounces. And we didn't really talk about the glasses. I like these type of glasses in the tulip shapes. Almost kind of looks like a wine glass, because I love to smell the beer before I drink it, and I almost always want it in a glass if I have the option, because the shape of the glass affects the way the beer turns before it goes in your mouth, and it definitely holds in the smell. So with a regular pint glass, if you're drinking a mild IPA or a Budweiser, it doesn't really matter. But something where the brewers have put a lot of effort into the secondaries and things like that, so you can smell stuff. Yeah, it's I don't know. I like my nose smelling.
Yeah, it is true rarity to see Jim drink out of a bottle or a beer. I think the most recent, in probably years, that I've seen him drink out of a can was the other day when we were building our rat rack and we were outside.
I was this close, and now you saw that video. We did have a couple beers out there, and they were pretty good. One was definitely better than the other, but I was this close to going inside and just grabbing a glass because I like to see it. I like to smell it. I don't know. It's a whole thing for me.
Yeah,
this is a 40 IBU, so it's fairly low on the International Bittering Unit scale. Matt doesn't like IPAs. He's going to have to expand his palate to really, for us to, you know.
I will suffer through it to do these videos.
Okay.
I will drink them, but just to let you know, I'll be sucking in the hate.
This is fairly mild. There's a little bit there, but this is pretty easy to drink. And it's not a bad beer. It's a really good beer. And if you're a gateway beer, if that's a thing, I mean, if you're, you know, a Budweiser or MGD or Coors Light or Pacifica or whatever, and you're looking for something to kind of stretch your palate, maybe try something else, this Rogue Dead Guy Ale is a good transition to do that. If you were to brew beer in Europe, and again, this could be a whole nother thing, in Europe, especially Germany, they have strict guidelines. I mean, water, yeast, grain, and hops, that's it. We don't have rules like that in the US, which has led to the explosion of breweries in like every corner. Like I mean, I don't know where you guys are throughout the US, but like here in Connecticut, like it's like Baptist churches down south. Like every time you turn around, there's a new one on the corner. It's crazy. Yep. It's absolutely crazy, which is great too because there's so much variety. But anyway, I know this is a snake channel. So thank you if you're still with us. Magma Project. We alluded to this in the beginning. The Magma Project.
That watching those videos, that project is insane.
The man's brain is insane.
To be able to, like, I don't know how he like calculates, like on what he's putting together to just create awesome snakes.
I mean, you look at different industries and different things, and you'll see people that just have like, a touch of greatness with the way they do things. And I think Kobylka with ball pythons has a touch of greatness. I mean, you look at, it's the Batman, it's the Gotham, and it's now the Magma. It's just crazy the stuff that he is producing. And we do have a couple animals here, again, very infantile in building our collection. But we do have a couple animals that should produce well for us, that hopefully eventually will get us down that road.
Yep.
And
the way I see him, he's kind of like Leonardo da Vinci, or like those creators.
I wasn't going that far, but like
the way he comes up with things and essentially the live art on these.
There's no
snakes,
doubt. There's absolutely no doubt. Yeah. When he released that video, and the red striped clown, I just like, dude, it. I mean, you may look at it and go, oh, well, yeah, there's some difference, and that's cool, which is true. I mean, there are definitely some differences, and it is cool. But there's enough of a difference where, like, if there wasn't anything else layered on that would still be enough. Yes. I mean, the red brick color that goes down the back that's peeking through, like, it's like he said, he called it like a fissure. It looked like a fissure in a volcano.
Yeah,
it's cool. So, again, we haven't done a snake yet. I do want to do that. Yeah, we can start with her. One of the first snakes that we grabbed, I think it was like August of last year.
That's a little close up here.
Was this girl here? This is a pastel red striped yellow belly.
She's a pretty girl.
And she's rated at 1,000 grams. She went off feed for us probably like 2 months, 3 months ago, and really wasn't eating anything. And it was kind of really annoying because she wasn't taking rats. So I gave her a mouse the other day, and she took the mouse, which hopefully that'll be enough just to trigger her to get her eaten again. So we'll try to feed her again. the next go around will be with a a small rat. See if we can get her chowing again. But the blushing, and I don't know how much of this you can see from that far, but the blushing that comes up down her spine, like all over her body from the red stripe is just, I mean, you look at her and you go like, I've never seen anything like that. You know, when I did the unboxing on her, we had several of the breeders that we see at shows all the time, and they were like, dude, what is that thing? I've never seen markings on a snake like that. And that's the red stripe, and probably conjunction, I would say, with the pastel and the yellow belly, because we have a couple other snakes that have the pastel, the yellow belly in there, and you get this kind of crazy blushing all over the place, and then like the saddles tend to float.
Yeah, the red stripe just takes it to a whole nother.
Yeah, and that just adds a whole bunch to that. I mean, she's good looking. And this particular girl I got on an auction from Carson Phelps, and honestly I don't think anybody bid on her, so I got her at a really good deal, but that's neither here nor there. She looks great. More than likely the plans for her will be to put the pastel clown to her, and at least get some hets going, get some red stripe hets going on my end, those clown hets, so I can start to get it, or we can start to get into this magma thing. Yeah, that's a good beer. So yeah, again, pastel, yellow belly, red stripe. With Justin's video, there's a big caption at the end where he comes out with the Pompeii, and that thing is like off the chain, literally off the chain. Now,
should I grab the...
you can grab the card. Yeah. You can kind of speculate what it is. I mean, he did show a couple other animals. That one of the last things that he talked about in his video was the Pompeii, and like, holy cow, like craziness, like crazy. And now you could kind of deduce what is in it based on the other animals that he showed, because you would think that that's all part of the same project. So you're definitely clown, obviously that's a big part of the magma, definitely red stripe, right? The other animal that he showed was a spot nose, so I'm gonna definitely say it's spot nose. I might even throw out leopard as a possibility, only because that goes down the path that he did with the Batmans and stuff, and maybe trying the same stuff to make it crazy, or even GHI is a possibility.
Yeah, there's just the craziness that's in this animal, between its pattern, the color.
Yeah,
it's insane. Like, this shows like a good portion of it, but like there's a picture here on the back where it kind of shows the whole snake, so I'm gonna kind of see if I can get it close here a little bit. But like when he showed this thing on the video, like the picture on
yellow
here
belly, I mean, so this is the animal I think that he showed here, and this is the pastel yellow belly spot nose magma, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the animal that Miguel now owns.
Yeah.
So, assuming that's part of the whole project, I don't know. I'm gonna lean spot nose, yellow belly, red stripe, clown. Because when he met with AP, he himself hadn't made a super magma yet. So that being said, so that's not a super red stripe. So that was going to be, you owe me another beer. So that's going to be spot nose, yellow belly, red stripe, clown, and then maybe one more elusive thing. We have one more to show you. So this this particular red stripe girl, I did pick up from Mr. K at Tinley last year. You guys may have seen her in other videos, in the Jennifer Aniston video. This is a GHI red stripe. And again, I initially said red stripe, it could be in there as well, or GHI could be in there as well, only because I knew that this girl is part of the project that he's been working with as far as those red stripes go.
And she's
and I've seen the red stripe. If you want to see something crazy, I don't know if he has a picture on his website, but there are some videos, some Tinley videos floating around about the GHI red stripe yellow bellies. And when you add yellow belly into this, the yellows blow up like that. So I don't know. Well, time will tell for sure. Nobody is ever going to know until Justin deems it so
to release it.
Yeah, and then he'll he'll let us all know what's in there, and I'm sure that's going to have to do with him making a super, or him getting far enough ahead of everybody else. He's a smart man. It's not gonna go unscathed.
As Miguel would say, hey, could you stop for 2 years to let everybody else catch up?
That would be nice. But see, I need everybody to stop for a couple years so I can kind of catch up. But I still need to buy from them, so they can't sell to anybody but me, and they just need to put pause for 2 to 5 years. I would hate for him to stop. I love seeing what's coming out of that house next, and like this stuff blows your mind. The Batman blows your mind. The Gotham was crazy. It's just total insanity. I love seeing it, and I don't know.
And for me, I'm really big into like pied stuff, and like just his
the
pied.
Gene X stuff. That's something to look at too. Yeah,
it's just
crazy.
It's crazy.
And I mean, this is just my personal opinion. And I've met Miguel before, and we're friends. We talk here and there or whatever. But if there's somebody to watch, it's gonna be him.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a look. You take a look. You go back and you look at the arsenal that Miguel's amassing, and it is insane.
Yeah, the amount of stuff that he's accumulated in the past year.
Are you listening?
Well, he's only been doing videos for a little over a year, or a year and a half, something like that. So I mean, you want to look at a collection that's somebody that's going to be somebody to watch. It's going to be him. I mean, there's enough different stuff that he has, all from really good breeders. It's going to be crazy. So with this style of stuff, again, the next one won't be really as definition like. We'll talk about a beer. We'll talk about the brewery, where it come from. We'll mention the ABV and the IBUs and
just
some of that. Some of that
reference.
stuff, and then we'll kind of maybe go back and forth with that and snakes, and maybe it's a topic like this with the Magma project, which is just ridiculous, or it's just talking about what's something going on in USARC or something else that we've heard through the pipeline and kind of want to do. And I don't know what we're going to do with it. So this is just like a trial run to see what you guys think of this kind of style. Something like this is way more to set up and to record and to do than typical. So these wouldn't be like a weekly thing. We might do 1 or 2 of these a month. I don't know. So what we want from you guys is your input. I want you guys to comment down below what you think of this style. Did you enjoy this? Do you like learning about beer and snakes? Because I do. Those are one of my, aside from my wife, those are like one of my 2 most favorite things in playing bass. More specifically, not only do I want your input on what you saw here today, whether you like this, whether this should go forward, but more importantly, do you think this format can be part of the current channel, or if this should actually be a separate channel? And if we do the separate channel, we got some names kicking around that we might use, but then we'll post some of those up, and we'll look to you guys too for input on that as well. Maybe this format is something you guys want to see as a live stream, and we have you guys dialed in and you're asking questions and we're talking back and forth about things. So again, you know, feel free to elaborate on your input, and as always, your input is much appreciated. Thank you guys for all the support and everything. We've picked up a couple more subs in the past couple days. And again, like, subscribe, and comment down below and let us know what you think of this format. And we'll see you guys on the next video.
You guys take care.
Peace.